Barriers to listening. Listening is not easy, and there are a number of obstacles that stand in the way of effective listening, both within and outside the workplace or outside the classroom. These barriers may be categorized as follows. Physiological barriers. Some people may have genuine hearing problems or deficiencies that prevent them from listening properly. It can be treated. Some people may have problem in processing information or retaining information in the memory. Physical barriers. These refer to distraction in the environment, such as the sound of an air conditioner, cigarette smoke, or noise of the students. An overheated room. It can interfere the listening process. They could also be in the form of information overload. For example, if you are in meeting with your manager or your teacher, the phone rings and you all beeps at the same time to let you know what you have the message. It is very hard to listen carefully to what is being said. Attitudinal barriers. Preoccupation with personal or professional related problems can make it difficult to focus one's attention completely on what speaker is saying. Even what is being said is of very importance. Another common attitudinal barrier is egocentrism, on the belief that the person have more knowledgeable than the speaker, or that there is nothing new to learn from the speaker's ideas. People with this kind of close-minded attitude are very poor listeners. Wrong assumptions. The success of communication depends on both the sender and the receiver. It is wrong to assume that communication is the sole responsibility of the sender or the speaker, or that listeners have no role to play. Such an assumption can be big barrier to listening. For example, a brilliant speech or presentation, however well delivered, is wasted if the receiver is not listening. At the other hand, listeners have as much responsibility as speakers to make the communication successful. The process should be made successful by paying attention, seeking clarifications, and giving feedback. Cultural barriers. Accents can be barriers to listening since they interfere with the ability to understand the meaning of words that are pronounced differently. The problem of different accents arises not only between cultures, but also within a culture. For example, in a country like India, where there is enormous cultural diversity, accents may differ even between region states. Gender barriers. Communication research has shown that gender can be barrier to listening. Studies have revealed that men and women listen very differently and for different purposes. Women are more likely to listen for the emotion behind the speaker's words, whereas men listen more for the facts and the content. Lack of training. Listening is not an inborn skill. People are not born good listeners. It is developed through practice and training. Lack of training in listening skills is an important barrier. That's what. In corporate world, today, employers are given training in listening. Bad listening habits. Most people are very average listeners who have developed poor listening habits that are hard to said and that act as barriers to listening. For example, some people have the habits of faking attention or trying to look like a listener in order to impress the speaker and to assure him that they are paying attention. Others may tend to listen to each and every fact and as a result miss out the main point. Thank you.